Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 6 of Cameron's Nostalgia Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strickland, and today I have with me the puppeteer for many TV shows and films. It's Michael Latini. How are you?
Hey Cameron, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Now, for any of the guys who don't know, Michael is a puppeteer and puppet builder. He's done multiple work for The Muppets and Sesame Street. And in addition to Sesame Street, he has also worked on Tiki Island, then Big Blue House Live, Little Shop of Horrors, and some of the commercials, and many more.
That's right. Yeah, I've done a little bit of work with Sesame Street and the Muppets. I've done no actual performance work on Sesame Street, but I did do some photo shoots with them. And then for the Muppets, I did one shoot. I did the Jimmy Fallon show, his last episode, when it was on late night. I helped my business partner, Mark, puppeteered with on that shoot for the Muppets.
Nice. You did some work on Helpsters.
That's right. My company, Monkey Boys Productions, designed and fabricated all the puppets for Helpsters, which is an Apple TV show.
Yes. All right. And let me go over to this right here.
Mm.
Okay, let's begin our first question. How did you get interested in puppetry?
Sure thing. So I grew up early in the 80s pretty much, and I watched a ton of media with puppetry in it. So all the recognizable ones like Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, Muppet Show, all those really well-known puppet things, but then also lots of amazing movies like um, Star Wars and Jaws and Jurassic Park and all those awesome movies that had lots of like behind the scenes featurettes and Back to the Future, all of those kind of shows. And it was a combination of loving all those shows and everything and growing up doing art and working with my hands, but also performing theater in high school that I realized that puppetry and puppet building was a possible career path. So I pretty much just started telling people I wanted to do it and got some volunteer positions and had enough talent to get started.
Nice. So, what was your first on camera debut?
Hmm. First on camera debut. Probably um when we filmed the pilot for the show Tiki Island. Early on when we started Monkey Boys Productions, we shot a pilot for a children's television show called Tiki Island, and that was one of my early television monitor TV style puppetry experiences. Prior to that, it would have just been some um, television press for Bear in the Big Blue House Live. I would have done some bear meet and greets probably on television.
Uh-huh. So, do you remember your first puppet you ever got?
Hmm. First puppet I ever got. Wow. It was maybe one of those really simple hand puppets you can get off Amazon, probably in college, I think. Yeah. But then the first one of the first puppets I really got comfortable with is that puppet behind me, Iggy from Tiki Island.
Oh, of course. Moving on to
Mhm.
our TV. You did some work with the late night with Jimmy Fallon.
That's correct. Yeah, that's when I got to work with the Muppets. But then also my company, Monkey Boys Productions, has done a bunch of prop work for both. I think we did a little bit of puppet building for Jimmy Fallon, but we've also done a lot of puppet and prop building for Saturday Night Live. And we get to work on almost every single episode more recently of Saturday Night Live, which is really great.
And um you got to puppeteer Audrey too in the Ellen DeGeneres show.
That's right. Yeah, we have my company has a set of puppets for the show, Little Shop of Horrors. And one year, gosh, it was a long time ago, I think about 10 years ago, Ellen DeGeneres was doing a Audrey 2 Little Shop of Horrors theme for their scenic. So they rented our puppets and flew us out, and we got to puppeteer during the taping of the show, which was a lot of fun. Especially, I mean, Daniel Radcliffe was on the show, so that was really neat.
You did some fabrication for Ben in the Desert. What was it like working on the show?
So that was another show that was produced by Monkey Boys Productions, and it was just a web short. We actually won some awards from Lucasfilm from it because we set it into their fan film competition. So we actually have a fun little golden stormtrooper that we won for that. It was a lot of fun.
How about Welcome to Anhedonia?
Yeah, welcome to Anadonia. That's a project that was created by our good friends Kevin Kelly and Paul Trigiani. They have a company called Big Howl, and we work with them a lot. Um, that we were producers and co-creators in some sorts. I puppeteered mainly a character named Artie, who's a lot of fun, and then I also helped with a lot of other puppet design and puppetry throughout the show.
I saw a trailer on TV on channel 199, which is
Oh, really?
Hellsters.
Yeah,
And it was pretty amazing. And what was it like working on the show?
it was pretty great. Tim McEwen is a amazing creator. He's the one that created the show. They were really open to all of our crazy ideas for the puppets, and we had a great time designing and building them for the show. Not to mention, we're good friends with the puppeteers in the show, the people that got cast. Um, Marty Robinson, uh, uh, who else did we have? Tim Lagasse, Stephanie DeBruzzo, um, Jen Barnhart. A lot of really good puppetry friends got to work on that show, and we were really happy about that.
Well, I did interview another past guest, Marty P. Robinson.
Hmm.
It was on episode 5 of my
Oh,
show.
great. He's a really good friend. I've gotten to work with him a few times, especially through Little Shop of Horrors, which is awesome. He, as you know, is the original puppeteer and designer of Little Shop of Horrors puppets. And he's been very kind to us, lending us his designs and suggestions with all of our Little Shop of Horrors work.
Yes. And you are a puppet designer and a puppet builder for the show.
Puppet designer, puppet builder, puppeteer. Pretty much if it has anything to do with puppets, I like to do it.
And you got to work for Saturday Night Live.
Yep, we do that almost every week during the season. They run their season pretty much the same time as the school year here in America. And yeah, it's amazing. We get to go on set and work with an amazing team there to make things in 48 hours for a television show.
I know. And you worked on a short film called The Lost Starfighter. What was
I
it like
did.
working on that?
That was great. We got to create I forget the name of the alien, but they look like Greedo from Star Wars. We got to create a Star Wars style creature for that short film and puppeteer it. It was a lot of fun getting to work with that crew.
Okay. You are a puppeteer for the Pose episode called Something Old, Something New.
That's right. Yeah. So in that episode, our company helped make some blooming flowers for the wedding dress that is worn. So I got to puppeteer those blooming flowers as the actor was walking down the aisle.
You worked on the Servant episode Tiger as a puppeteer.
Which one was that?
S- eh, oh, Servant episode
Oh,
Tiger.
Servant. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so Mark and I worked on an episode of Servant because they were doing a street fair or a block party, and at the block party they had a puppet show. So we were there as the puppeteers for the puppet show. It was fun.
Okay. You worked on the TV show called Pause with Sam J as a
Hmm.
puppeteer.
That's right.
And what was it like working on this episode?
That was fun. It was a lot of uh, knockoff Fraggles and other monsters. Our good friend James Voital uh, built all the puppets for the show, and we got to puppeteer on it with a bunch of friends. It was-
Well, James Whitehall was the puppet builder for a local children's exercising show called Kid Fitness.
I did not know that. Will ask him about that.
And James Whitehall worked on a children's show called Kid Fitness.
That's so
And
cool.
I do have two DVDs of Kid
Really?
Fitness called Terry and the Blueberry Bush and Kid Fitness writes a book.
Wow.
And
I've never heard of kid fitness. That's cool.
yes, in season two, they had this puppet character named Buster, who
Hmm.
was a Tarsier monkey.
Huh. Kid fitness. Little. I see. I'm looking it up online right now. Buster gets the blues. Wow. I've never seen that. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
That's great. I wonder how old that is. Do you know when that was made?
This one's made in 2007, I think.
Oh, okay.
And let's see here. You have worked on Albie's Elevator.
That's right. My company also worked with our friends at Big Hal, and we designed and puppeteered on it. But we designed Albie, the lead character, and Huggy Pepper, one of her friends.
Okay. You have worked on the upcoming show called Little Films.
That's true. Yeah, with Julio Torres from Saturday Night Live that we got to shoot not that long ago, and I think that'll be being released sometime next year.
Nice.
I can't say much about it, but there'll be some cool puppets in it.
Okay. You got to be Bear in Bear in the Big Blue House Live.
Yeah, that was my very first job out of college. Finished college in 2001 and went on tour with the production of Bear in the Big Blue House Live. So that was really great. My first touring experience, my first professional puppetry job, and I got to meet some great people because I got to meet Noel McNeil and Tyler Bunch and a lot of other puppeteers, and made some really good friends on that tour.
You know, Tyler Bunch is the puppeteer for Zippy the Quark.
Who is that?
Tyler Bunch.
Yeah,
And he's the puppeteer for Zippy the Quark.
Zibby the Cork. What's
Yes,
that from? I don't know. Zibby, Zibby.
yes.
Another one I don't know.
He is from a show called Sharon and Lily's Diddy Dinner Works.
Gosh, I don't know that one.
Hmm. Well, Zippy the Quark sounded like this. Hi there! I'm Zippy the Quark! Quark, 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 quark.
That's cool.
And I have a DVD copy of Diddy Dinner Works, which is right on the shelf right there.
Which one? Oh, cool. You probably have a lot of DVDs of puppet shows.
Yes, I do.
That's awesome.
Yes. And Daniel Weisbrot took over Zippy.
Oh, I've met Daniel before. He's a nice guy.
Yes. And I have a DVD copy of Bear in the Big Blue House Live.
Oh, that's so great. They shot that. I just missed being on that. They did that right, I think right after I left. But I have lots of friends that are in that DVD.
All right.
But that's the show that I did. I did that show so many times. I could probably still do it. I just have to find a bear puppet.
All right. And you have worked on Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, I've done Little Shop of Horrors over 1,000 times now.
What was it like working on that?
Oh, it's so great. It's a really um, one of a kind puppet show. There's not a whole lot like that out there where you get to use small hand puppets all the way up to massive puppets the size of cars. And I've been lucky enough to work with some really great actors who do the voice of the puppet. Um, and my favorite is well known. His name's Michael James Leslie. He's an amazing singer and actor, and I got to do the national tour with him.
Okay. You have worked on Avenue Q as a puppeteer.
Not as a puppeteer. I worked for Rick Lion Puppets, and I helped build the puppets for the Broadway production. Prior to that, I helped build the set for the off-Broadway production, actually.
Oh, I see.
hmm
And how about Johnny and the Sprites?
Yeah, I worked on Johnny and the Sprites in their first season as a prop fabricator, helping build props for the show. Lots of flowers.
And I used to watch the show when I was a kid on Playhouse Disney.
Oh yeah,
And I loved it so much.
it was a really great show.
Okay. What about Walking with Dinosaurs Live?
That was an amazing experience because I got to puppeteer those life-size dinosaurs through the company Global Creature Technology Company. They built these amazing lifelike remote-controlled hydraulic and robotic dinosaurs that look so real, and we got to puppeteer them across the U.S. and Mexico and Canada as well. It was really amazing.
And How to Train Your Dragon Live.
Right, and that was a similar situation in which they were very similar style puppets that we got to use that were large dragons based off the movie How to Train Your Dragon. And that was amazing because I got to go to Australia and New Zealand to work on that show. And I had never been there before, and it's a really amazing place, both of them.
You have worked on the Dr. Seuss experience.
That's right. Yeah, my company, Monkey Boys Productions, helped build a bunch of the puppets for that show, both the Cat in the Hat and a bunch of the Walk It in My Pocket um, characters.
Let's see. What else do we have here? You have worked on the Last Week Tonight with John Oliver
We built a couple, I believe, costume puppets for that show as well.
and the World Family Club.
Yes, we built a bunch of that's a company that I believe teaches English to Japanese children, and we built a bunch of puppet versions of their characters as well at Monkey Boys Productions.
You made those props for the Today Show.
We did. We made a bunch of props for the Today Show as well. That's been fun. Lots of people that work at the Today Show also work at Saturday Night Live, and all those people in New York work together. And we're often getting phone calls from different people that work on different things.
All right. I never seen this one before. Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood Wife.
Oh, yeah, we made a Daniel Tiger for that show and a few other things, I believe.
What was it like working on this stage show?
Oh, it was fun. We got to make, I believe we worked with our friends at the Puppet Kitchen the first time on that. But yeah, we got to make a Daniel Tiger life-size character with a moving mouth and moving eyebrows.
I used to watch Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood on Family Junior and PBS,
Oh, yeah.
and I loved it so much. Let's see now. How about San Diego Zoo?
Yep. Again, we worked with our friends at the Puppet Kitchen building some puppet mock-ups for the San Diego Zoo.
And I used to watch some of those Sesame Place videos on YouTube when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And you worked for Sesame Place.
We did. We did some work for Sesame Place. We built Velvet from Sesame Street. We built a version of Velvet.
All right. For Elmo the Musical Live.
That's right.
That's Elmo's friend, curtain friend. And you did Stormy and Baker.
Also with our friends at Big Howl Productions. Yeah. Our friend Kevin Kelly created that and I got to play Baker for that, which was a lot of fun.
You did a commercial for Sony Bravia.
Yeah, that was one of our first things we did for Monkey Boys Productions. We built these colorful animals for a Sony Bravia TV commercial in Mexico City, and it got us a really awesome trip to Mexico City, which was awesome. It was really great.
Can you tell me the story about this commercial?
Yeah, sure. So we were hired to build a bunch of um, Bunraku, like completely controllable American tabletop version of a bunch of colorful animals, like a lion and a zebra and a giraffe and an ostrich and a bear. And basically, what happens in the commercial is it's a really dark and gloomy. You see almost they don't say it, but it looks like a big ship, kind of like Noah's Ark. And you see a bunch of real animals going into the ark. And then the storm happens in the ship, and then the doors open up at the new place and out come hopping these really colorful puppet character animals. Um, and it's an ad for colorful television. Went back when they were having those Sony Bravia TV commercials. If you remember, there's one with a bunch of colorful balls down bouncing down a street. Ones.
All right. You worked for another stage show called Go Diego Go Live. What was it
hmm
like working on that show?
Marty Robinson hired us because he was designing all the puppets for the live show. So he designed all those puppets, and we got subcontracted. Monkey Boys got subcontracted by Marty to help build half the puppets in the show, and that was really great because again, it was one of our first big projects that we got to work on.
All right. Okay. Da, 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 da. You have worked on Tiki Island, where you got to be Iggy.
That's right.
And what was it like working on this show?
It was great because Mark and Scott and Russ, the original founding members of Monkey Boys, and myself, we completely put it together, worked with an amazing designer, Jeremy Holmes, in all the background. We shot it on green screen, and you should be able to watch the pilot online. But yeah, it was a lot of fun and we learned so much. And I hope someday we can do more of it.
Oh, I see. And I saw that puppet behind you.
Yeah, that's Iggy over there.
And you should bring this over to me.
Oh, you want to see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So my good friend Michael Schupak made this a really long time ago, and he's got really old arms. Yeah, I got really old arms, and I'm not that new anymore, but I still work. How you doing, Cameron?
I'm doing good.
It's really nice to meet you. Thanks for talking to this guy. He's kind of boring.
Hmm.
Any questions for me?
Yes.
Be quick, because this guy's not as good as holding me up as he used to be.
What was it like appearing in this show?
Oh, he's so great. I got to work with my friend Bear. We had so much fun together singing songs and doing all the fun stuff we did on the show. Maybe someday we'll get to do it again.
All right. You got to work with this Tiki right here.
I did. There was a Tiki in the show. He
Hmm.
was pretty nice. Hard to work with, if you get what I mean, because he's stone and he's hard. Does that make sense? Good.
Yes. You got to work with Bear.
I did. Bear is a good friend of mine. He's from the Arctic. I'm not.
And yes, I just need to ask you something.
Yeah, I can go back, hang out over there if you want to talk to Michael some more.
Okay.
All right. It was nice to meet you, Cameron.
Okay, Michael. So, do you have any behind the scenes pictures and videos of Sesame Place?
What was that? Sorry.
Do you have any behind the scenes footage or photos of Sesame Place?
Unfortunately, I don't. We don't have a ton of behind the scenes because lots of the times we need to keep pretty secret about the projects.
Oh, okay. So, how many puppets do you have?
Cool. Um, I don't know. Here we have a ton of puppets because we do our puppet kits. But myself, puppets that are just mine, I don't know, not a whole lot because they're all at the company. I sell so many puppets. I don't know, maybe five.
You have 5 puppets.
Probably. I haven't ever counted. We just have so many here at the shop that I just use them every so often. Here at the shop, we probably have 100 puppets.
Okay. Well, Michael. Oh, okay. Do you have any behind the scenes pictures and photo videos of Sesame Street?
Unfortunately not. I have a couple pictures of me and my wife at a wedding on Sesame Street, which was really fun. Marty Robinson got married on the street, and it was really amazing. So I got a couple pictures of me in a window at Sesame Street, or me in Oscar the Grouch's trash can. That was pretty cool.
You're calling from Lansdale, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I live outside of Philadelphia now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in between Philadelphia and New York City, pretty much.
Did you go to Sesame Place?
I have been to Sesame Place a bunch of times. Have you ever been there?
No.
It's fun. Have you ever been to the States?
I have been 3 times.
Oh yeah, where did you go?
New York City,
Hmm.
New York, California, Maryland.
Nice. Do you have any friends or family out here?
I have friends from the USA.
That's great. Did you get to see any shows while you were in New York?
Well, I was in the puppetry conference in Hagerstown.
Oh, that's great. I bet you got to meet a lot of puppeteers there.
Yes, I do. Nice. Well, Michael, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Uh, I appreciate your love for puppetry and I thanks for reaching out.
All right. Stay tuned for there'll be more guests coming up. Until next time, peace.